A bit of research that jumped right out at me the other day from the pages of the Journal of Sexual Medicine. And it was a study into the relationship between video gaming and sexual health in adult males. So what they did was took a whole bunch of guys aged between 18 and 50, and they asked them a whole load of questions about their lifestyle, their backgrounds, their habits, how they spend time, including a load of questions about their intimate sexual activities. And the results were quite interesting. Let me read what they found. So from the report, compared with non-gamers, men playing video games for more than 1 hour a day were less likely to have premature ejaculation. Interesting. Now we've got to think, this was a questionnaire-based study, and questionnaire studies tend to be maybe a bit unreliable because guys do not like ticking boxes about how long they last in bed. And also the numbers weren't huge. Once they'd filtered out all of the guys who weren't actively having sex, they got to 287 gamers compared with 109 non-gamers. So not huge numbers, but still a significant finding. So it makes me wonder, well, what was going on here? What was this all about? Now, there is an observation that guys who struggle with sex and worry about performance anxiety and premature ejaculation and things like that often have a kind of hyped up emotional anticipation of sex. And whether that's overexcitement, over-arousal, or whether it's more of a fear, a nervousness around sex, it has a similar effect. Don't forget that as far as your nervous system is concerned, excitement and anxiety are very related emotions, and they both have a similar effect on the fight, flight, freeze response. They both produce that adrenaline, the cortisol, the change in heart rate, the change in breathing, the muscle tensions, all of the things that we know motor us guys towards orgasm and ejaculation often sooner than we'd like. Now, in terms of overexcitement around sex, it could be the prospect of seeing, touching another body, the activity itself, the intense stimulation. Everybody has their interpretations and meanings around sex, and sometimes the psychology of this is complex and multi-layered. But in effect, it means an overexcited response, a rush-like experience, both literally and figuratively. And similarly, with nerves and anxiety around sex, guys might be self-conscious, they might feel exposed, they might feel over-aware, spectating themselves during sex. And again, this produces a similar response. The reasons could be from life experience, even with a partner that they feel very comfortable with and have been in a very regular relationship with, they still feel sex triggers this nervous response. Sex is an important part of life, and sometimes on a good day it can be a sublime experience. Of course it can, it's part of being alive. But there is a balance to be struck between excitement and intense anticipation and having a more grounded attitude towards sex. Too much excitement, too much desire, it can be problematic, and not enough desire can be problematic too. And something else that was noticed in this Italian research was that the gamers, the guys that played video games, tended to have slightly less sexual desire. So this suggests that there's some of that balance going on. When I'm working with guys on all kinds of anxiety, and this includes performance anxiety and stress around sex, we do quite a bit of work on calming down thoughts around sex and getting this whole thing into perspective. And sometimes this does require a little bit of reconditioning, early life lessons around girls and porn and masturbation and sex, maybe things that we've picked up and been doing from quite a young age. So if guys have plenty of other things going on in their lives, if they've got a passion, an activity, a range of interests, I think this helps with maintaining that healthy perspective. So I think this might explain some of what was found in this study. And they might have seen similar results if they'd been looking at martial artists or sports fanatics or technology buffs. You know, anything that's kind of engrossing and fun and engaging keeps you coming back for more, and gaming certainly does that. So when it's in moderation, I can see why guys spreading their energies and their interests among a range of activities helps keep this balance. They're not all hooked up around sexual performance and worrying about their relationship. Maybe there are other benefits to gaming that can be brought into sex. Coordination, the balance of movement and still having a strategy, dexterity, delayed gratification, problem solving. You know, we do know that there are cognitive benefits to gaming, and they can play into sex as well. Possibly also, depending on what games guys are playing, when they're very stimulating and engrossing and realistic, guys are naturally experiencing that roller coaster of emotion, that rise in energy and anticipation, and then delving down into relaxation and completing the level. And maybe that helps too. So what's the takeaway here? Is it a prescription? More gaming is, you must be gaming for more than an hour a day? Not necessarily. But I think the message here is find a passion. Find activities, invest in yourself in balance and moderation. Don't get carried away into things that reduce your desire and your attractiveness. But stay engaged, spread your interests, and I think this helps maintain a healthy perspective to all aspects of life, including sex. Just remember that when you're getting your individual needs met, you have more energy and capacity to bring into shared activities, helping your partner get their needs met too. And this applies absolutely to sex. Now, thank you for watching, and can you guess what I am off to do now? If you have any questions about premature ejaculation or sexual confidence in general, please feel free to get in touch, and my website is linked in the description below this video. Also remember that I am a therapist sharing my opinions and general advice, but this is no substitute for going to see your own GP or doctor. So if you have any concerns about health or your sexual health, you should go and get a medical checkup and take some advice. Thank you very much for watching.